Hello, Mr. Randy here. We're kind of ramping up to prepare for the CSWA exam. And one of the things that takes place in the CSWA exam is that they'll often give you a picture of a model and expect you to create it, but they'll also give you the X, Y, and Z axis directions on the model. And we really haven't worked from that kind of data during the semester that much. We normally have just thought about what plane we want to start on to get our orientation, not the axes. So this unit is to give you a little practice in working from XYZ axis data rather than working from looking at a picture and just deciding what your base feature and your plane will be to begin to get your orientation. You've had the X and Y and Z axes always hanging out in our drawing editor in SolidWorks down here in the lower left corner, and this icon here gives us the X, Y, and Z directions, and these are the positive X, Y, and Z directions. There's another helpful tool, if you will, and if you're a machinist, you've seen this before. This is the right hand rule for axis directions. So with your palm facing you, your thumb, if it's splayed out to the right, is the X direction. Your first finger pointing straight up is the Y direction, positive Y, and then your second finger pointing straight at you is the Z direction, and this is the positive axis orientation. And you can twist your hand around in any way you want and still maintain those three axes. So sometimes that helps you trying to figure out these parts. Well, let's take a look at what these parts look like. I'm going to go to the next picture here. And here's a sample part similar to the ones you're going to do this week. And you're given a triad here, and in this case all positive directions. And the origin is right here. And you have to first of all determine what plane you're going to start on and then figure out how to draw the sketch. Well, we can see my base sketch is going to be an L-shaped sketch that, if you're following my mouse, would look like this. This L shape right here will be my base sketch. Two of those lines being hidden in this view and the rest being visible. So I need to start my sketch on the XY plane. So I'm going to come into SolidWorks over here, and on the XY plane, that would be my front plane. You can see that that front plane is parallel to the XY axis there. So I'm going to start on the front plane. By the way, top plane is the XZ plane, and right plane is the YZ plane. So back to the front plane, that's the XY plane, and I'm going to start a sketch. Now it's taken me normal 2, and now I need to draw my first line. I'm going to start at the origin, and I'm going to draw this long line here. I find it easier to work the long line first with these shapes than to do the short line first. So I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to start at the origin here, and we can see if we look over here, I need to go in the negative X direction because positive X is going out this way. So this is positive X going to the right, and I can see that on my triad. I need to go left. And then my back corner is going to go this direction, which is positive Y. So I'm going to go up in positive Y, and I'm just going to eyeball this. I'm not going to dimension it. Then I'm going to come back and down and over and down. Now I have my sketch done. Let's go back now to a trimetric view here, or isometric view, I'm sorry. And here is my part oriented. Notice it looks nothing like this orientation. And now I'm ready to extrude it. Well, my extrusion direction is in this direction. And that would be opposite the Z, positive Z axis. So the negative Z direction is my extrusion direction. So when I go to extrude, I need to go opposite Z here. I need to go in the negative Z direction. So I'm going to pull that back this direction and hit OK. Again, we're already in an isometric view here, and this would be my orientation in the isometric view. In your worksheet, you'll find the picture that looks like this and circle it, and then you'll mark the corner that has the origin. All right, let's do one more. So I'm just going to delete this feature, and I'll delete this sketch. And let's do a second one here, and we'll advance. And this one is, again, different orientation here. Now negative Z is up, Y is out to the left, X is down and to the left. And we want to do this part again in this space. So my sketch plane, again, to do this sketch on the back end of the part here, my sketch plane will be the ZX plane. We don't care about orientation yet, just the ZX plane. So the ZX plane is the top plane, so I'm going to click on the top plane and start a sketch. And I'm going to start the line tool, and I'll grab the origin. And if this is positive X coming out, then my first line is going to be in the negative X direction. So I'm going to go again negative X, some distance. And then my next line has to be up in the negative Z direction. So I want to go opposite the Z axis here. So we're going to go up or negative Z, and then we'll come back and close that shape. Again, I think you'll find this easier if you do the long edge first. Now I'm going to go back to an isometric view. And you can see we have a rather odd orientation versus the picture you see because we started on the top plane. Now I'm ready to extrude. Again, I'm going to look at my model, and I see that I have to extrude in the negative Z direction. Sorry, I have to extrude in the negative Y direction. Hope I didn't confuse you there. So this is my extrusion direction. Y is going this way, positive Y, so I need to go negative Y. So I'm going to pull this straight down. Let's zoom back a little bit so we can get a little better shape, and we'll hit OK. Again, let's verify that I stayed in isometric view there. There's the orientation of the model based upon this triad in isometric space. So you'd find the picture that looks like this, and then again you'd mark the corner of the origin. Okay, so there you have it. There's about 6 of these problems in the handout for you to go through. Take your time, work through it just the way I did it. Decide your plane first, then decide the direction of the first line and the second line. That sets the orientation of the whole shape. And then once you've created the L shape, then make a decision on what direction you're going to extrude it and take it that way. Good luck and enjoy.